Five-a-side football at the London Paralympic Games. A beautiful day here. An Indian summer developing in this part of London.
Two changes at the break for Great Britain. Leaving the field, number 7, David Clark, and 8, Lee Brunson. On in their places, number 5, Dan English, and 10, Darren Harris.
Couple of changes made at half-time for Great Britain. Darren Harris coming into the game for them. And Daniel English also back on the pitch. And Harris competed at Beijing 4 years ago in the judo for Great Britain. He plays for the partially sighted team at West Bromwich Albion, who are a side currently in the English Premier League. They've had a very good start to the season. And China did have the better dribblers in the first half, Wang and Zheng. Seal. And Wang can't force the corner. Harris. English will pick that ball up. Driving into the attacking third, and he's still going. And you'll hear that rattle from the ball as it rolls along the turf. Ball bearings stitched into the panels. Seal. Nifty back heel from him, but he can't find a teammate. Wang. Good effort. And here's Harris. And it's a corner. And the referees here have to act as a guide at times as well. Seal does well to gather and turn. And it's important there aren't too many voices on the sidelines offering advice. Great dribbling again from Zhubin Wang. And a goal wouldn't flatter China at the moment. Such a difficult skill to dribble with the ball when you're sighted, and to do it when you aren't is a real talent. And here he comes again. Wang. Good challenge though. Seal. He's dribbling as well. All the way through into the 8-meter arc. And this will be picked up by Zheng. And you'll hear Harris there shouting "Voy" to say "I'm here" before he makes the challenge, but he can't do so. Seals, the player, sent clattering into the boards by the sleight of foot there. Strong play from English. And the shot dragged wide by Yaten Wang in the end. "20 minutes to play." And the Chinese continue to play the more constructive football. Mainly through this man, Zheng. Good play from Harris. Seal gets away with another pass across his defensive area. Zheng. Away from two. And he just tried one trick too many there, as a timeout is called for a change for Great Britain. Kevin Seal replaced by Roy Turnham. His sister Laura was involved in the tandem race as part of the cycling. Harris found it out in the end. English. And here's Wang. Good challenge though from Turnham. And China continues to knock at the door here.
Substitution for People's Republic of China, leaving the field number 10, Zheng Wenfang.
And Zheng given a rest after some superb dribbling skills so far. And he is replaced by Li Jingzhang.
Substitution for Great Britain, leaving the field number 5, Dan English. On his place number 6, Robin Williams.
And Williams back into the game for Great Britain, replacing English.
That's it. One more. Rob's on. Well, yeah. Left foot out, Rob. That's keeper's throw. Howard, find the left board.
And here is Williams, straight on the ball. And runs straight into a foul from Zhang. And the team are allowed 3 fouls in each half before a penalty is awarded for each one subsequently. And China had 3 in the first half. So they sailed fairly close to the wind without conceding. Williams, strong play. Wang. And the clock ticks on towards the final 15 minutes, and we still await the first goal.
Go side right. Dad, come here. Sit left, good. Roy's gone behind. Robin,
And if we are level at the end, we would have 2 5-minute periods of extra time, followed by a penalty shootout if necessary. But here's a chance for China. And Wang Yifeng just losing out in the end. Williams. Wang. And China less of a threat without Zheng on the pitch, and I'm sure he'll be back before the finish. But that's a good shot, not too far wide from Wang. No backlift at all there. And Skyers happy to see it fly past his near post. Williams.
Lost it.
And Great Britain yet to test the goalkeeper Nui in the second half. Made 2 good saves from English and Clark before half-time. Good skills again from Wang. And here comes their danger man, Zheng Wenfa.
Republic of China leading the field, number 8, Zhang Liqing. Replaced by 10, Zheng Wenfa. And from Great Britain leading the field, number 10.
Only 19, but he's a real talent.
David Clark.
And David Clark coming back on for Darren Harris. And all these players are wearing masks. Some have higher levels of sight than others, but of course, to make it entirely fair, everybody wears the same sort of cover. Clark. And it's looking like one goal could settle this. Williams. Wang Yefeng losing out. Here's Turnham. His sister came 4th as part of the tandem time trial team in the cycling. And now he's hoping to guide his team towards a 5th place finish here. And this his penultimate game in Paralympic sport. Wang. Will Norman sticks with him. Just a nip at the ankles there. But Wang stays on his feet.
Great Britain have elected to take their timeout.
So 11.5 minutes to play. Great Britain timeout. And it's the Chinese number 10, Zheng, who has done much of that so far. And that was the shot in the first half from English. But Zheng so comfortable in possession. And the lack of goals has really hampered GB's progress. Only 1 in their 3 games. They've only conceded 2. Yep, early start for some. Just a few checks on the masks from the officials, just to make sure everybody is on a level playing field from that point of view. And Sky's throw only finds the opposition. Wang. And that was a good challenge there right at the end from Will Norman. Williams. China have numbers back there, and also the ability to break out through this man, Zheng. He goes down, inside the arc. And a penalty is given. And it was always likely his dribbling skills were going to produce that sort of opportunity and that sort of risk for Great Britain. Their first foul in the half, but it could be costly. Clark in the end, just bowling him over. No doubt about the award. The goal had gone. The ball had gone a long time before. And it was a heavy fall for Zheng. And it's no surprise he needs treatment. When you're running forward at such full tilt, that sort of challenge is going to result in a heavy fall. And he's not able to continue.
Substitution for People's Republic of China, leaving the field number 10, Zheng Wenfa. On his place number 8, Zhang Lijin.
So Zhang Lijin replaces their star man. And the man who may have created the opportunity for China to win this game. And the responsibility taken by Li Zhaojiang, the captain. Just receiving the guide. And a big moment in the game. And he scores. China take the lead, a goal they deserve.
Goal scorer for People's Republic of China, number 5, Li Zhaojiang.
Li Zhaojiang. Went for height and power. And if you think a penalty is difficult when you can see the goal, that's a real skill when you can't. And China have a lead, which on the balance of play they do deserve. Clark.
He's lost it.
Wang. Turnham just with a pull on the shirt, but the ball had gone.
Substitution for People's Republic of China.
And Zheng Wenfa is able to come back into the game after some running repairs.
Zheng Wenfa.
And Great Britain here have 10 minutes to save themselves.
Lost it. He's lost it.
And China, it seems, are going to beat Great Britain in a second successive major championship, following their defeat in the World Championships 2 years ago in the bronze medal playoff. Here's Clark. Another goal now would finish things off for China. Zheng. And he goes down again, but no penalty this time. Darren Harris coming back on for Roy Turnham.
Replaced by 10, Darren Harris. Also leaving the field, number 7, David Clark. Replaced by 5, Dan English.
Well, it's wake-up time for Great Britain. Looking to secure their first victory here. Harris up against the boards, up against it. And the nature of this form of football means the individual goal is often more likely than a team effort. Wang. China have had the better continuity when they've been moving forward. As Wang is buffeted against the boards there by Robin Williams. But Skyers gives it straight back to China. Here's a chance to finish it. He had 2 bites at the cherry there. Wang Zhubin. Good play from Williams. He runs into a Chinese cul-de-sac in the end. There's a second foul in the half. Dan English. And the angle's tight here for a shot towards goal. And the idea was right. But Wang Yifeng unable to gather the ball. Wang. And we're ticking towards the final 5 minutes now. Good play from English.
No void, no void.
Zheng again. without doubt the man of the match, not just because he won the Chinese penalty. Williams. It's well played by Harris. And a real jumble of arms and legs there. But China come away with the ball. And it's English who takes out Wang. At the other end, Wang Yifeng is also down. And the clock will stop for the injuries. As Clark and Seal prepare to come back on for Great Britain.
Substitutions for Great Britain, leaving the field, number 6, Robin Williams. Replaced by 4, Kevin Seal. Also leaving the field for Great Britain, number 10, Dan Harris. Replaced by 7, David Clark.
So 2 of the most experienced players back on the field for Great Britain as they try and take this game towards extra time. And here was the foul on Wang. English unable to get out of the way. And they seem to land awkwardly on that right ankle. Zhang Lijing preparing to come back on.
Substitution for People's Republic of China, leaving the field, number 9, Wang Xiaobin, and in his place, number 8, Zhang Lijing.
So after all that, China will restart. English. Great Britain still yet to have a shot in anger in the second half, and we now have under 3.5 minutes to play. English working hard. All the way! A brilliant goal from Dan English to equalise with 3 minutes to play. That was all his own work. 4 Chinese beaten. 5 if you include the goalkeeper. Strength, the power, and then the finish.
Substitution for People's Republic of China, leaving the field number 8, Zhang Li Jing. On in his place number 9, Wang Jiaobin. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, please, silence from the stands during the game. Thank you.
And that goal will have shocked the Chinese. They appeared to be in control. Only the second goal that Great Britain have scored at London 2012. But that's a moment that Daniel English will remember for the rest of his life, scoring at the Paralympic Games. Clark. And if we are tied at the end of 50 minutes, we will have 5 minutes each way of extra time before penalties, possibly. And that's a foul. And that will be the 3rd foul. So Great Britain are walking a tightrope here. In fact, the 4th one, they awarded the 3rd one for the challenge from English previously, which led to the injury, but we didn't see the board shown up by the officials. But this, a penalty from closer out. Wang Jiaobin to put the Chinese back into the lead. And after working so hard to get back into the game, Great Britain could fall behind again. No, saved! Straight at the goalkeeper in the end, but Skyers does his job. And English, the goal scorer for Great Britain. There's a collision there with a teammate, Norman. English, I think, may have damaged his nose. Inside 2 minutes now. And that's a corner. The Chinese guy believing they should have another penalty here for a foul. And I think there's a blood injury here. It was a collision between English and Norman.
Substitution for Great Britain, leaving the field number 5, Dan English. On in his place, number 9, Roy Turner.
So English makes way for Turnham. But of course, he may be back in extra time. No chances taken with blood injuries. Chinese corner. Zheng. Wang. We missed that penalty. That's a fine run, but he can't find the finish.
Shield, hold it.
And the cotton wool has been applied to the nose of Dan English.
Go side, go foul.
Wang, superb run, foot through, and in the end, just drags it. But that would have won the game for China, surely, with 40 seconds to play. Norman. That's a good ball. But Clark can't gather. A goal for either side now would be a winner. Zheng. Turnham. Wang. I think he was trying to draw the foul there. But that's it, the end of normal time. And extra time is looming here.
The second classification match has ended. People's Republic of China 1, Great Britain 1, and this game will now be decided by a penalty shootout.
Well, we're actually going straight to penalties.
Allow me to briefly explain the rules of the penalty shootout. You may be used to seeing 5 penalties taken per side. In 5-a-side blind football, it will be the best of 3. If the sides are still level after 3 penalties each, we go to sudden death.
So the best of 3.
Let me remind you what is at stake in this game. For the losers, they will face Turkey in the 7th-8th playoff on Saturday morning. For the winners, they take on Islamic Republic of Iran in the match for 5th place on Saturday morning.
So penalty shootout now. Of course, China have scored 1 and missed 1. So Lewis Skyers can make himself a hero now. The rules have been just changed slightly for the Olympic Games. Extra time will now only apply to the final. So it's best of 3. And then sudden death.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I remind you please of the importance of absolute silence while the penalties are being taken.
And nobody is leaving the Riverbank Arena.
They go in, but while our penalty takers are lining up for the penalty, please, absolute silence.
Li Xiaoquang scoring the penalty for China.
Also, for those sat
early in the second half,
where the penalties are being taken, please
equalised very late on by Dan English.
Please be aware, it is a very heavy ball. Don't get caught by surprise, please.
And the crowd, absolute silence now.
So this classification match comes down to a penalty shootout between People's Republic of China and Great Britain.
And Great Britain will take the first penalty. And David Clark is preparing to take the first penalty, it seems. One of two players to have scored for Great Britain in the competition so far. And communication with the guide, very important now.
Give your middle first, Clarky. No. We come forward a bit. Then slightly right. Another yard forward, David, be nice.
The guy just having a bit of byplay there, encouraging Clark to move the ball closer to the goal. The referee puts him right.
Bottom left. Yeah. Bottom left.
Clark over the top. Got right underneath that in the end, and now coming back to take a penalty is Li Xiaoquang. And the crowd call for silence again. So the kicker can hear the guide. He scored in normal time with a penalty. And he scores here. So a big moment here for Dan English. If he fails to score, China will be one penalty away. The player from Sunderland.
Right. You want crossbar, yeah? No.
English scores via the goalkeeper, but they all count. But China retain the initiative. And it's one of their big players from this game who will step up next. Wang Zhubin, who offered great support to Zheng Wenfa. And the silence here really helps to add to the tension. And he scores just about under the body of Skyers. And now Seal has to score.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Thank you.
If Karen Seal fails to score, then China go through. And he saves. It's all over. Great Britain's hopes in the Olympic Games were ended by a penalty shootout. And their hopes in this game are dashed in a similar fashion. China were the better side throughout. And they were pegged back by a superb goal from English in the closing moments, but China held their nerve to win the penalty shootout. Disappointment for Clark, who missed one of the penalties. And it's a very cruel way to lose any game of football.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support here at the Riverbank this morning. Unfortunately for Great Britain, it wasn't to be today, but Great Britain will face Turkey in the
So Great Britain play Turkey in the playoff for 7th and 8th place, and China will now go through to play Iran.
For 5th place.